been lying there for an hour, mind spinning like a broken carousel. Work deadlines, relationship tensions, that conversation you should have had differently, all circling endlessly when you're supposed to be resting. You're exhausted but wired. Your body wants sleep, but your brain has other plans. It's cataloging every worry, rehearsing tomorrow's conversations, solving problems that don't exist yet. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you about racing thoughts at bedtime. They're not random. They're not even really about the things you're thinking about. They're your mind's desperate attempt to control what hasn't happened yet. The Stoics had a name for this exact phenomenon. Marcus Aurelius called it the tyranny of tomorrow. Your brain's futile attempt to manage the unmanageable future by obsessing over it in the present. Think about it. When do your thoughts race the most? Right when you have nothing else to distract you. No emails to answer, no meetings to attend, no tasks to complete. Just you, alone with your mind. And suddenly, every unresolved issue demands immediate attention. But here's what makes this worse in our modern world. We've been conditioned to believe that thinking harder equals solving better, that mental effort always produces results. So when we can't sleep, we think that's the time to figure everything out. Marcus Aurelius understood this trap intimately. As Emperor of Rome, he carried the weight of an empire to bed every night. Military campaigns, political tensions, administrative nightmares, all trying to follow him into sleep. But he developed a practice, something he wrote about in his personal journal, what we now call meditations. A 60-second technique that transformed bedtime overwhelm into peaceful transition. Here's how it works. Instead of trying to solve your racing thoughts, you acknowledge them as future-focused anxiety disguised as productivity. Aurelius would lie in bed and ask himself one simple question. What in this very moment requires my attention? Not tomorrow, not next week. This moment, right now. Most of the time, the answer was nothing. The bed was comfortable. His body was safe. The immediate moment held no actual emergencies. Everything his mind was racing about existed in an imagined future. But here's where it gets strange. The moment you recognize that your racing thoughts are about tomorrow's possibilities rather than tonight's reality, something shifts. Your nervous system starts to distinguish between actual problems and mental simulations. Modern neuroscience confirms what Aurelius discovered through practice. When you consciously redirect attention from future-focused anxiety to present moment awareness, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and digest response. The Stoics called this returning to what is present. Not mindfulness as spiritual practice, but as practical mental hygiene. A way to separate real concerns from anxious projections. Does this sound like your life right now, lying there tired but unable to rest because your mind insists on rehearsing conversations that may never happen, solving problems that don't yet exist? Here's what Aurelius understood that we've forgotten. Your racing mind isn't trying to harm you. It's trying to protect you by preparing for every possible scenario. But protection through exhaustive mental preparation is actually a form of suffering. The Stoic approach isn't to silence your thoughts. That's impossible. It's to recognize when thinking becomes counterproductive, when mental activity shifts from helpful planning to anxious spinning. Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present, not as philosophical advice, but as practical instruction for overwhelmed minds. The present moment contains everything you actually need to handle right now, and usually that's much less than your racing mind believes. So here's what you do tonight. When your mind starts its familiar carousel of worries, ask Aurelius's question, what in this very moment requires my attention? Notice how your body feels against the sheets. Feel your breathing naturally slowing. Acknowledge that you are safe right now in this moment. Everything else is mental time travel. This isn't about positive thinking or forced relaxation. It's about accurate thinking. Most of what keeps us awake at night isn't happening right now. It's projected anxiety about imagined futures. The Stoics understood that peace isn't the absence of challenges. It's the presence of clarity about what actually requires your attention right now. You've been carrying tomorrow's weight during tonight's rest. What if you just put it down? Just for now, just while you sleep. Tomorrow's challenges will still be there in the morning, but you'll face them rested instead of exhausted. If this name's something you've been carrying, subscribe. New wisdom every day.